This your boy Nini, and this Leo in the third house. This time I'm here with a rant. Just gonna be talking shit. Ain't doing no readings. Just talking shit today. So waiting for a couple of y'all to get on here. We're gonna tell this story about how I came to be. But I'm gonna play with these cards while I wait on y'all. Oh, here. What's up, Majesty? Hey there, Linus Kitty. Hey, y'all. What up, C Mac? Here. Hey, hi, Mai. Hey, Michaela. Hey, Vanilia. That kind of reminds me of my aunt, Wilhelmina. Hey, hello, Kimberly. You call it MacBook. What I got going on tonight? I figured I'd do a great rant. Get notifications again. It is a great feeling. Thank you again, Linus Kitty. I cannot thank you enough. I know, right? He pissing you off real. So I got my daughter mom's dog here. He been staying for like days. He been here for a while. She probably tired of him, ready for me just to keep him. But he be humping on my bigger dog. And then be pissing him off. I be hearing him. He be like, I know, be pissing him straight off. He be giving him a look too, like, get off my butt. Same. So I was gonna wait till about now to tell y'all about it. All right, so let's talk about it. How did I get into tarot? This was like back in 2015. Yeah, he trying to assert his dominance, and that's probably why my dog don't like that. Like, yo, bro, you're not bigger than me. I will rash you, thrash you. Royal, he just gets up and walk away. And then the little dog follows him. Terrible. But 2015. So this is what really happened. Initially, I didn't know anything but my sun sign. All I knew was that I was a Capricorn. That's all I knew. I didn't know anything else outside of that. You know what I mean? I had like a girlfriend. She was a Capricorn. She happened to know my birthday. We were like 2 days apart. She told me about it. And I just would go after that. She was like, yeah, Capricorns love money. And I was like, wow, you're right. Astrology is real. So anyway, fast forward to maybe 2 years later, I'm dating this girl. She was a Leo. All right, so I think that I'm gonna give her credit and just say that was like the beginning of my spiritual awakening. We'll give her credit for that, and we'll go with that. Let's give her a little round of applause because that was what brought me here. Thanks for her. And it was a short-term relationship. That's why I be trying to tell y'all, short-term relationships are really important because you never know where they'll put you at on your path, where they'll get you inspired, or where they'll take you. You think you're wasting time? Hell no. You would have thought I wasted time with that 8-month relationship. It brought me to right here over the course of time. You know what I mean? Because the uncomfortability brought me here. You feel what I'm saying? So anyway, I'm dating her. You know what I mean? It's going well, but there's this other Leo that I like too, right? She had a nice body too. She was fire. So I'm on YouTube. This is back when YouTube, I didn't even know anything about the algorithm. So I'm searching on YouTube. I think I looked up maybe like Capricorn and Leo, or how do you seduce a Leo or some shit. I don't know. I said something like that. And it came up with tarot reading, and it was like Capricorn and Leo. So I guess like back then they were doing like 2 signs at once, or like, I don't know what they were doing. I don't know what you even call that now, right? So it just happened to be a Capricorn and a Leo tarot reading together. So I was like, okay. So I watch it. And it's the story that me and her are going through. So I was like, oh shit. But they were talking about breaking up, and I was like, we're good. I don't like, what are we about to break up for? You know what I mean? They were describing like a terrible breakup. And then that did happen. So so after that, I was like, whoa, all right, that's kind of crazy. So like it was just in my mind, but like, I didn't look at him anymore. So then I was living in Denver at that time. So I had moved out to Denver. I was like living there for a little while, maybe like at the time it's like 40 days. So I started doing like a workout regimen there because, you mile high, you're going to lose weight really quick, oxygen, air. It's like your endurance gets stronger. So I was just there and I started working out. And I lost mad weight, right? So during this time, I was looking at like intermittent fasting, jump roping, ways to lose weight and all that shit. And you know, because I didn't understand the algorithm was also posting tarot readings. So I was like, all right, you know, because I already watched one and it said I forgot, the title was really catchy. So shout out to those people who always have like catchy titles, because the title is what got me. So I got into the title. I forgot what the title was. It was so many years ago. This was like 2016 or so. So from the title, you know, I watched the reading, and it was this one lady. I'll never forget her. I don't know if she still does tarot anymore, but I'll never forget her name. It was Carol's Corner. I think she used to do makeup tutorials at first. She was like an English lady, a black lady too. You know what I mean? She had an English accent. I just liked her accent. And then she knew what she was talking about. But you know, with how women read, women are really emotional. So it's always like this emotional shit. And she would say, she's coming back. And hell yeah, she would come back. She did come back because I was having shit. I was having money. Of course she was coming back. She's a Leo. I got money. I got status. I got clout. People know me. You know what I mean? Everybody knew I was out here from my small town. They knew I was out in Colorado, and they already knew what I was out there doing. So, you know, to still be attached to me was still looking good on her. So she would come back, but it was like to play the game, you know what I mean? To get what she could get and give me the bare minimum. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, I got obsessed watching it because it was kind of crazy. I'm like, how is she doing this? And then there were other readers that were coming down, because once you watch one or two, then it starts showing you like a whole slew of tarot readers. So now I'm into the shit. Now I'm like, damn, it's almost like a soap opera. And I'm just really looking at it for the one girl now. I really didn't care as much, but I only cared because, remember I told you, all right, so I told y'all a story about how I even came up with the what's up with it. So what happened was, it's the same girl. So she one day, so we had broke up. What happened was, I moved to Colorado. I stopped talking to her for 3 weeks. I blocked her on everything. You know what I mean? We had a little argument, a little disagreement. I blocked her on everything, stopped talking to her. You know, and then 3 weeks later, I came back around, like just to check on her. I just called her. You know, she was acting really chill, really relaxed. She wasn't acting like she had anybody new or nothing. So, you know, we just chat and we kind of rekindled it back or whatever. I go over there. She ends up having a boyfriend at this time, and he's there. So, because I had a key to her house, but like I gave the key back because we had a little, you know, disagreement or whatever. So I go over there to try like walk in like I lived there again, and the door locked. So now I'm knocking the door. Boom, 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 boom. Why the door locked? she look out the window. She like, it's funny now, and it was funny when it happened. It was funny when it happened. You know what I mean? Because like I could like respect it. Like when you like, you know what I mean? Like I could do shit like this too. So it's like when you do it to me, I'll be laughing. I'm like, ha! I would have did that to somebody else. You know what I mean? I could take the good with the bad. I'm not one of those people who are unfair. So he's there. She's like, oh, my boyfriend's here. She said it with like a smirk too, because I had been ignoring her for the longest. And then I happened to hit her up on my birthday, you know, try and get some sex. What's up? It's my birthday. So I pop up. You said it's funny. I left for 3 weeks and came back like it's all cool. Hell yeah, that's what I do. I be telling people that all the time. Like when it comes to like emotions or feelings, I'm not in that 24/7 at all. Like there'd be like 1 or 2 days, maybe out of the week, where I'm kind of feeling maybe a little bit clingy or a little bit like huggy kissy, and then the rest of the week, get away from me. Not really. I don't need it. I don't need a whole lot of it. It's like, you know, in spurts. So that's why I also don't do like long-term relationship. Well, I can do long-term relationships, but like it has to be understood. Like, yo, look, I'm not trying to hug and kiss on you all day, and I don't need you in my space all day. Find something to do. Get a life. So anyway, when I go over there, he's at the window. He goes, "What's up with it?" he light skinned too, so he's like, he looking down the window. He like, "What's up with it?" I was like, I laughed. I was like, okay, bet. So I leave. I get in my car. I leave. I don't say nothing. You know what I'm saying? That was the end of it. But I seen her again later. You know what I mean? Like, you know, maybe a week or two later. She was still hitting me up. She was still texting me and shit. What she always liked were men who would take care of her, give to her. Like she could work and she can get money, but for the most part, she wasn't. She'd rather somebody take care of her. Hey there, Pentarina. She would rather somebody have took care of her. Similar to that now, but she can get the money. You get what I'm saying? She can get the money. So anyway, after that situation happened, I was like, all right, you know what I mean? And I never ever like used that phrase until when it was time to come up with my YouTube. You know what I mean? So anyway, back to how I got into tarot. So anyway, I'm watching the tarot for mad long. All right, it had to be like from 2016 to like 20. I mean, we could even say currently now because I still be watching it and I like it. You know what I mean? But back then it was just like an obsession because really, what I really got into tarot for was because I thought that they were scamming. That's why I got there. You know what I mean? I was just like any other Joe Blow, whoever hears people talk about, oh, they do tarot readings. I just assumed that they were great storytellers, and liars and scammers. So that's what I thought. I was like, damn, you know how like you see people at the fair, the lady with the turban and the crystal ball. You're like, oh man, she's scamming. Like this, it's always fun for like novelty, but it's not really real. You know what I'm saying? I started off watching this lady called Carol's Corner. I don't know if she still do it now. I think it's Carolls Corner, Corner. I think she's still there. I don't know. I haven't. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean. That's why I imagine that most tarot readers would be wearing like a turban or wearing like a crystal ball, having all that smoke and stuff. So I didn't even want to do any of that. I wanted to demystify all the tarot. You know what I mean? That was the whole goal behind it, was to give it more like a practical approach, a practical use. You know what I mean? And then plus I was a straight male. So like, remember how I was telling you I was kind of worried that everybody was going to think I was gay? I was like, damn, they might think I'm gay. You know what I mean? I'm already like emotional in certain times and I'm using the hand mannerisms and you know what I mean? And I'm not like all day long. I'm not trying to be a tough guy all day long. So I was like, damn, they would probably think I'm gay. So I was kind of scared of doing it. But it was like so intriguing to me. Like, because it was like, how are they doing this shit? How do they know? How do you know? You know what I mean? So I got into like just practicing, studying, and then I ended up finding my sister put me on to the pattern and she put me on the co-star. So once I started understanding, because I was already into like astrology from the first girl I was telling you about, she was a Capricorn. I was already into like astrology in like a minor way. But once my sister put me onto like the pattern and co-star, I started really getting into it. Then I really started checking out my birth chart. Then I started checking out like what these placements mean, what are transits, what are aspects, and it became like an obsession. And so I got the Scorpio Mars, which like when I want something or I desire something, it's all I think about. Like I just dream about it, sleep about it, eat about it. It's just all I ever think about. It's nothing outside of what it is that I desire. So it was like, I need to know, I need to investigate, I need to get deeper into this. So I started studying, started researching. I got my first deck after I got my first reading from this girl. She was a Leo too. And she did a tarot reading for me, but she had the book. So I paid her $30 to do a tarot reading on the other Leo, the Leo that I was telling you about with the boyfriend. It was like a tumultuous situation. You know what I mean? But anyway, you know what I mean? Because I hate to lose. So that's what I was really obsessed about. I hate to lose. Like, you know what I mean? Her getting off like that was like, she won in a way. You know what I mean? So I was like, oh, hell no. I got to get you back now, or at least have you back, like loving me again so I can leave. So I could be the one to leave this time. You know what I mean? So, you know, I got into, I let the lady do the reading or whatever. And when she did the reading, she did it with the book or whatnot. And after we got done, I was like, yeah, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? What it is diabolical, right? But I make all the stuff that was like, stuff that was once a hindrance, a blockage, a hurt piece. I turn it into like gold. You know what I mean? I turn whatever it was that was trash at one time into something useful. You know what I mean? So it became something empowering. It once disempowered me or broke my confidence at the brief moment, and then I used it to empower myself. Now it's a saying. You know what I mean? So where I was going with that? Oh yeah, boom. So the girl did the reading. She did the reading for $30 or whatever. She read the book or whatnot. You know what I mean? And it was cool. It resonated. You know, she did her job. It was cool. You know what I'm saying? And then she was like, you should get into doing tarot. We need more masculines in the tarot world. And I was like, for real? You think so? Yeah, beauty from ashes, exactly. She's like, I was like, you think so? She's like, yeah. I was like, but that's mostly for women and like gay guys. No offense to my guys who are gay. No offense. I'm just saying, like, that's what I was assuming. I was like, this is not for like straight men, because I didn't see any straight men. But like over the course of time, I started seeing straight men. Like there was this guy, Occult Gate. I don't know if he does it anymore. Yeah, I don't feel shame about it. I don't feel shame about it at all. But lust didn't really lead me into it. What led me into it was, lust led me into it, not really like heartbreak. Lust led me into it first. And then heartbreak just kept me there. You know what I'm saying? So that's how that worked for me there. But anyway, once I jumped in, like once I started getting cards, I got some cards. The first deck I ever got was this one right here, the original deck. I got the original deck. This was the first deck. I bought it myself. Nobody got it for me. I bought it myself, right? So I come from we're gonna call it strict a strict Christian household. You know what I mean? It was called a Pentecostal, where men always kept long sleeves, long shirts. They kept a clean face, no mustache, no beard, and the women always kept their hair covered. Their hair would be long as shit. They always kept their hair covered, and they always wore dresses. No makeup, no perfume, no cologne, no jewelry, no nothing. You know what I'm saying? So they didn't even watch TV. Think of like Black Amish. They were like Black Amish people. You know what I mean? So kids couldn't even drink caffeine. So I couldn't have sodas that had what you call it, that had caffeine or none of that, chocolate, none of that shit. Just coming up because it was like they were like a very strict spiritual. It was like a cult, for real, for real. We're being honest. It was like a cult when you really get down to it. Because I had family members who died believing in that faith. Like I had a family member who died over gangrene, and all she had to do was go to the hospital, but they didn't believe in modern medicine. They were that spiritual that they did not believe in modern medicine. So like rationale just like goes out the window. You know what I'm saying? Because they believed that God was going to do this and do that. So I was like, ooh. So when it came to like traditional relationship, traditional religion, I was like, oh yeah, nah, hell no, I'm not with that shit. I ain't finna just die just because y'all say it's God's will. Shit, they got modern medicine that can save me. I'm gonna stay alive. So I was kind of scared when I first got my deck. That's the reason I'm telling you that, is because I was kind of scared when I first got my deck, because when I first got the deck, the exact same night that I bought the deck, I crashed a $40,000 car. It was a brand new truck. I got it from a rental because somebody had broken into my car while I was at the shop. So they gave me a rental. It was a $40,000, I forgot, a Jeep Wrangler, or it was a Ranger, Ford Ranger. It was a nice one too. I crashed it, tore the whole car up. It was like $20,000 worth of damage done to the car. I scraped it on a fire engine. I got into an argument with my baby mom. She was like, "You got these tarot cards?" Because me and her were living together at the time. And all I did was get this girl to do a reading for me. And she was like, you got bitches doing readings for you? And then she threw the tarot deck at me. Boop! And all the cards fell out the box. And I was so mad. You know what I mean? So I get in the car, I put all my tarot cards back in the box. I'm all mad. I'm on my way, because this is on Thanksgiving Eve. So I'm on my way to what do you call it, a Friendsgiving like celebration. I crashed the truck. I crashed the truck. So in my mind, tarot is the devil. Because I grew up in a highly spiritual, highly religious, you know what I mean, traditional value type of like, you know what I mean, religion, you know what I mean? So like, oh shit, I done crashed this $40,000 car, and it's because of the tarot cards. It's the devil. So now I'm spooked for a little bit. I'm like, yo, I can't do this. This ain't good for me. I shouldn't be engaging in this. I should probably be doing something else. You know what I mean? So you feel me? I thought it would too, and I thought that too. C-Mac, I thought that too. I thought if she touched the tarot, it was gonna mess it up, like it mess up the energy or whatever, all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So like my first day having it, not even 12 hours later, I crashed the car. You know what I'm saying? Oh nah, Scorpio Mars too. Okay, but anyway, fast forward. Insurance covered that because I had insurance. Because I had a brand new car, so I had full coverage. So they just covered that crash or whatever, and it was all good. Insurance rate went up a little bit. It wasn't nothing. I didn't get hurt or nothing. I just damaged the car. Then they gave me another rental, and all was good in the world. So it wasn't no. But I was just practice sometimes. I was just practicing, because at first I was kind of like, I don't know if I could do this. I don't know if this is gonna work. You know what I'm saying? I was like, you know what I mean? It says she sounds karmic. I know, right? She, keeping it real, she was part of like a karmic. All those people at that time were part of a karmic lessons that I needed. You know what I mean? Because, keep in mind, Pluto was in Capricorn around that time when I'm dating people. So, and it's in my 7th house. So it has to do with relationships. That's why a lot of when it comes to relationships, I be knowing them inside and out. The right way to do them, the wrong way to do them. How to take advantage of them, how to keep the power in the relationship. You know what I mean? How to relinquish power in the relationship. Because I've been dealing with relationships and tumultuous relationships or difficult relationships for at least 16 years, including family, friends, business associates, intimate and romantic. I had all type of relationships, and I really perceive them pretty well now. You know what I mean? Like understanding why we're doing them, how we getting them. Because Pluto in any aspect of anything always gets you down to the human level or the most basic human functions. You know what I mean? So like who we are at our core, opposed to like the image or the facade that we put up. So I really kind of understand people and the situations at a deeper level. So over the course of time, I'm studying, I'm training, I'm practicing. So in 2020, when they did a COVID lockdown, because this is in 2018 is when I bought the deck, and I was practicing for like 2 whole years. I was doing like tarot reading secretly, but I wasn't like into it. Like I wouldn't do a reading every day. I was just like, every once in a while when I seen the deck, I'd just go get it, flip it, use my book a little bit, ask a bunch of random questions, shit like that. And then sometimes I got a little clarity and all that good shit, but I didn't really get like a whole lot of clarity. But it worked out. It was cool. You know what I'm saying? So 2020 came around. They lock us in now because COVID is out. So now I'm doing readings every day. I had a friend. She was a Capricorn girl, so I would always go to her house. She maybe lived like maybe a couple miles away from me. I'd ride over there, sit at her house, and I'd be there all day just doing readings with me and her, and maybe her friends or whatever friends came over. Yeah, I have a Libra moon, so I would just do whatever. Like we just do random reads, and we just be doing them. So as I'm practicing, I'm getting better. So like over the course of 1 year, I know I did thousands of readings because we were over there every day. And like she would like pull the cards out, and I'd do like 5, 6 readings just for her. And then she'll call a friend over, and I'd do a bunch of readings for her. And then other friends would pop up because like she was kind of like the hot spot at times. Like people would just come hang out with her. She boosted, you know what I mean? She would like, she also like, did a little here and there, a little extra little 1-2 moves. So people were always coming around for her or coming to like to deal with her. She a Capricorn. So everybody's always knowing us, and the important people would be around there with her. You know what I'm saying? You said, what? Wait, what in Kickdown were you out and about? I'm confused. What you mean, Pintarina? So anyway, so boom, I'm practicing with the girl for like the longest. Hey there, Shava Bode. So I was practicing for the longest. 2020, I'm doing like the shit. I'm really like putting it out there. So I'm always telling people that, oh yeah, during lockdown where I was going. What you say? You said, let me look at that now. What in lockdown were you out and about? Yeah, I was out and about during lockdown. Like you can't just have me sitting around. I had to at least be outside. That was a great time. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, where was I with that? So yeah, so I'm doing a bunch of readings at her house. You know what I mean? I'm getting my game up. And at first they would ask me questions like, what's going on with this? What do I need to know about this? Till a point where I got really good and they stopped asking me questions. They'd be like, just let the cards do what they're going to do. Just let the cards do what they're going to do. They didn't want me to like really be in their business. They wanted me to kind of assume that I'm right or wrong. And they would never tell me after that whether I was right or wrong, which was also a good thing because I didn't need that emotional reassurance that my intuition is working. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times when you like, and that's why I kind of like the smaller tarot readers, because in the very beginning, you don't realize how right you are. Like you doubt it. You're like, am I doing this right? So it's like endearing, and at the same time, they be right on it. It's like a baby. You know how babies are still in touch with the spirit world? Brand new tarot readers are still in touch. They're like so pure that they don't even know that they're right. You know what I mean? Their intuition be clicking and they be doubting it. They're like, it's once people start getting up really high, I mean, they still be accurate, but when they start getting up really high, you stop looking past the obvious. You start just kind of like going with what you feel. And sometimes you look past what's really in front of you. You know what I mean? Just because you want to say something that's a little bit more interesting or something that's a little bit more click worthy. You know what I mean? So like the younger ones, in the beginning, the beginner tarot readers are a little bit more authentic and a little bit more true to the culture. So like, I'm a fan of this. You know what I'm saying? So I like people who are like genuine about that stuff and like really serious about it. Like not just be about the money, be about the passion and the information that you're dispensing. So 2021 come around. I'm still scared. You said like how the cops arrest you for what you type not to say. Yeah, that's for real. Yeah, the cops will do that. You ain't lying. So 2021, I'm still like hyping myself up to go to do tarot. So I end up dating this girl. She was a Gemini, and so she was a life coach and like a life coach and yeah, for real. People who tiptoe what messages they get so they don't lose followers. Yeah, I don't care. You just ain't gonna like it. That's why I just be saying it how I say it. Like you may not like it, but maybe one day when it's the right time, you'll be like, you know what? That was a seed of knowledge that you gave me, and I didn't like it then, but it worked out. So anyway, the Gemini girl, she inspired me. I'm a Capricorn, Tracy Trace. So the Gemini inspired me to get into, hey, Aloe, she inspired me to actually do social media. Because like I seen her do it. Like she's been on the #1 list on a bookseller on Amazon. You know what I mean? Like she was doing big stuff. So I was like living through her vicariously, watching her be an entertainer, a life coach, You know what I mean? A mentor to other people, an author, a book writer. She was doing all that stuff. You know what I mean? A first-time homeowner. We came from the projects and everything. You know what I mean? So this was a past person that I once dated too when I was like 19. We had fell apart, but we came back together. So, and when we came back together that second time, it was a better relationship, way better. We were more mature. It was more helpful. It was more conducive to the lifestyle that I was trying to get into. So like she came right on time. You know what I mean? So again, that's why I be like, people like, you leave past people in the past. This was a past person that came around and again inspired me to be here. You get what I'm saying? The first one inspired me to get into spirituality. The second one came back around and gave me the confidence to push. Why did we break up? She just left. I didn't want to commit. I didn't want to commit. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, Aquacat. That's all it was. I didn't want to I didn't want to just settle down anymore. I didn't trust her in that way. You get what I'm saying? Like that's really what it was. And it was like she wanted me to play a part. What it was it wasn't even about playing or like dating around. What it was it wasn't about me. When it comes to relationships, with her, it was about expectations and where she expected me to be or what she expected me to do. And while you can have expectations of me, but I also have expectations of you. And if you're not willing to live up to my expectations, then why am I living up to yours? So that's why we didn't work out. You know what I mean? Because it was like, I like fairness. I got a Libra moon. So in order for me and you to work out, you need to be equally thinking about me like you think I should be thinking about you. I'll play petty with you too, because it's got to be equal. It's got to be fair. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't fair. That's why we didn't. Yeah, it was a power struggle because one, you don't do anything. Like the whole time we were dating, I was like homeless. I wasn't home. Well, I was homeless because I was staying with my friend in the basement, sleeping on the couch. You know what I mean? Paying like $100 a week because I had just gotten out of prison and shit in like 2018. So I was like trying to get my money together. You know what I'm saying? And I always had like an issue when it came to like dating because I'd be dating a lot of different women sometimes. And you know what I mean? You know what I mean? So like true story, I'm gonna tell you a little bit, you know what I mean, a little bit so y'all can see where I came from. So I was like, remember I was telling you I was staying with my baby mom and all that good stuff, right? And so you said looking at it, being a terror spiritually makes me want to expand, expound. Yeah, empathetic. I read my supervisor at work and she looked at me like I was fine. And that's how it be too. And that's how it was too. Those little things were happening to me too, where I'm like, damn, I can kind of already know what's happening. You know what I mean? But you know how like you still think you're crazy because you're like, man, this is just all coincidence. Like before you get into the spiritual, you start thinking that you're just crazy. So for the longest, I thought that I was just crazy. You know what I mean? Like I didn't tell too many people that I was doing it at first until 2021, 2020, when I started practicing with people. Then all of a sudden I'm like, all right, yeah, this is what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, my God. Thank you. So I'm practicing on trying to get ready. Where was I going with that? Because sometimes I get off track because there'd be so many different things I'd be wanting to tell y'all that led into like each different part. Where was I at with that? Oh yeah, so boom, I was staying with my baby mom. So I ended up getting kicked out of there because I went on a date with the girl that I was just telling you about, with the Gemini girl. I was staying with my baby mom. We were living together, but we weren't dating. We were just living together. She was helping me get my money up. But in her mind, we must have been, you know what I mean, supposed to be getting back together. You know what I'm saying? We never had to talk about it, but in her mind, she thought that's what we were going to do. So when we didn't do that, she kicked me out. She's like, you got to get out. So that's why I don't live with people either, because I got to have my own place. I don't need you to I don't want to be dependent on you where you can take my security or my safety out from under my feet because you choose to. I don't like people having that type of control over me. You don't have to have control in a relationship to be in a relationship. You know what I mean? It just has to be a mutual understanding. And we weren't really having that. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, she kicks me out. My homegirl, my friend, my ace boom coon moved me in. She's like, yo, you can stay here. Just pay me $100 a week. She'll cook food, cook meals. She, our boyfriends or whatever be there chilling. They cool. Nobody's like pressing me. She was my best friend. I never had a best friend like that ever. Female too. Then she passed away over time. When she passed away from melanoma, but that was like my best friend to the end. Anytime I needed her, anytime I had something going on, she showed up. She's a Capricorn too, so Capricorn and Capricorn, we understand each other. So she was always there looking out for the cookout. Anyway, I met the Gemini. The Gemini happened to be living down maybe like 4 doors down in a house in the same neighborhood. And I didn't even know. I know it was too. It was really sad. One day they called me in the morning and was like, yeah, she passed away because she had got sick. It wasn't, I don't know if it was COVID or just the flu because her immune system was down. She had got sick and I didn't want to go over there because this is when COVID had first hit. So I was like, I don't want to go over there and get sick. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I didn't want to catch COVID. So I was like, I'm going to check her out when she get a little better. She didn't get better. The first day I heard about her getting sick, 2 days later, she was dead. I was like, oh, God damn, no, not my baby. I was so sick, you know what I'm saying? And there's this reading that I did on here where she was calling me, and I forgot what she was calling me for, but it wasn't probably for nothing major. She just be calling sometimes. She would just call just to talk, you know what I mean, or just like vent about shit, you know what I'm saying? So like I like ignored her that day, you know what I'm saying? So I was sad about that. And one day I was listening back to that reading. I forgot what it was. It was a pick a card reading though, and I was like, oh yeah, somebody's calling. I was like, they don't really want nothing, and I just kind of like ignored it. I was like, damn, that was my friend. I talked to her after that before then, but like up until that point, I like, you know what I mean? Like those little moments, you know how when somebody go away, you be like, damn, I should have picked up that one call. Even though I talked to her after that, you know what I mean? It was like every little bit of moment with her would have counted. You know what I'm saying? So I miss her, man. That was my friend. That was my real friend. That was like a I don't know how to even put it into words. Like that was really like a real friend to me. You know what I'm saying? Like she would put me on a friend sometimes. She would like look out for my daughter, buy food for my daughter, take my daughter places, babysit for me. Like it was like a real friend. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't one of those friends like silently compete with you, silently try to hold you down. Like it was, you know what I mean? Yeah. But anyway, so I'm dating a Gemini girl. Gemini girl inspires me. You know, I'll go over there. Now, like I said, I'm sleeping on the couch. Um, and eventually I had to move out of there because so one of these guys thought that I was sleeping with my best friend, and I never have ever, and never. You know what I'm saying? So they had imagined that me and her were sleeping together. So he concocted some type of plan to make her think that I'm doing something that I wasn't doing. So she ended up kicking me out. So I ended up having to move in with my uncle, but I'm still dealing with the Gemini girl. So I go over there with the Gemini girl. We hanging out. We do whatever we do. You know what I mean? But like all that time, I had to build myself up. She wasn't really helping at all in any way because it was like a traditional value. Like men need to get themselves up. No worries. I'll get myself up. When I got myself up, I was not coming over as much. I'm not hanging out as much. We can come over, but it's just for sex. We might go on dates from time to time, but I'm definitely not about to commit because you don't care about me. In my mind, you don't care about me. You thought you were better than me. You thought that during these times when I weren't at my best, that all it was worth was just maybe a little sex and when you decided to do stuff for me. So I was like, all right. So that's what it was about not committing to her. It didn't just have to do with me like not wanting to settle down. It was the fact that I could see genuinely you didn't care about my needs. There were expectations of how you wanted me to show up, but you weren't thinking about what I needed or how I was feeling in situations. I just needed to be a man, which was great, but you're not a cooker. You're not that great of a clean. I mean, she can clean, but you're not a cooker. You weren't a traditional woman. You know what I'm saying? You weren't doing any of the stuff that I would expect you to do. So like, we're not about to like commit just so that you can get what you like while I'm still trying to convince you that I'm worthy of what I'm asking for. So, you know, we did this for like, for real, we did this for like 5 years, close to it, on and off, 5 years. We might split up for like maybe 3 months, 2 months, then come right back together like nothing ever happened. You know what I'm saying? So eventually I got my own place. You said, were you not sexually attracted to your best friend? At like one time, at like an earlier period in life, yeah. Like the earlier period, yeah. When she first started asking me to hang out, I was like, oh yeah, she's all right. I would, but I didn't. Like something, I forgot what happened. We just didn't. We just didn't. You get what I'm saying? So I didn't press it. Like after like the first year, I stopped even looking at her in that way. I was like, oh, it's my friend. Like because she was like that genuine. Like it was so rare that I ever had like a woman be a friend and be genuine in that way. You know what I'm saying? So she might have liked me. She might have not. She might just liked who I was. You get what I'm saying? So I didn't ever do anything with her. It was just like chilling. He said, do caps like Sagittarius? Yeah. We like Sagittarius. We're very similar. Sagittarius and Aquarius, even though we don't really like, they don't seem compatible, we go well with them. All right. But anyway, so boom. So I gave you that story about why I didn't commit and why I don't commit. You know what I mean? Because for one, it's like I could do it on my own now. So it's like, now what are you going to do outside and maybe give some sex and maybe be emotionally reassuring? But I don't really need the emotional reassurance. So like me not needing it every day and not wanting you to give it to me every day would come off as like maybe I'm using and abusing. So, which also leads me into this part about tarot readings. Whenever I'm describing somebody, I'm describing how you would view them, not necessarily how they are. I try to paint them in a picture where you would believe them, who you know them to be. They may not really be that person, but like from the outside looking in, you might see me as somebody who's emotionally unavailable. You might see me as somebody who's insincere. You might see me as somebody who's selfish or greedy, but that's not who I am. It's just how you would view me that way. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I read it that way. And sometimes it's like, yeah, that's who they are, but that's not really who they are. So if you're ever cross-watching and you hear me describe you in a way, you're like, that's not me. That's maybe not you. What I'm saying is this is how they would view you. You get what I'm saying? They may view you this way. That's how they would recognize you. You may not really be that way. Like your way of loving them may not be the way that they can interpret it. So it's going to come off as this way. All right. It says a lot of people say you guys won't just be friends. My whole life I've had more dude friends, so there's always wonder since I heard that. Yeah, guys could be friends with women, for sure. Guys could be friends with women, certain women too, certain women. Like if we really like you, nah, not really. She was cool though. She wasn't ugly, and she was all right. She was like, it was like just in the beginning stages, I would have. But after that, like after like a year hanging out, I was like, nah, I don't want to mess this up. Not at all. Because this was like, she was really there for me. Like, you know what I mean? I couldn't tell y'all how much she was really there for me. You know what I'm saying? It was so much so that everybody thought we was already sleeping around. Because she would really come to my rescue all the time. Like that's how you know when a Capricorn fuck with you. When they come to your rescue and they show up for you and they do stuff that you don't ask for, but they see that you need it, that's her. She seen that I need it and she would just do it. And she would make stuff easier for me in life, just in general, just because she would be dating and whatever. And then she'll like, give me clues and pointers on dating women and all that stuff. So it was like, a real friend I could count on who I never slept with, because I don't have any female friends that were my friends that I never slept with. All my female friends, at some point, it happened at least once. So there was like with me and her, there was no gray area. We were just friends. So that was like something that's why I could always like look back on her and be like, damn, that's my real friend. She was like ride or die. Yeah, for real. You need a cat friend. All my friends be saying like, yo, you be showing up, you be coming through. And all my other cat friends, they be coming through when I need them. I got a cat friend who's good with cars. Whenever something's wrong with my car, he come through, he'll fix it for free. I'll be like, yo, what's wrong with it? I'll be trying to give him stuff. He's like, nah, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Cat friends, you need them. You know what I'm saying? Because these are your ride or dies. They stick and stay. They be there when they get messy. So that's my peoples too. So Capricorns, they were the shit. All right. When you're treating them right, you know what I mean? They be having expectations too, and they be really stubborn too. So that's something about us too that's a little issue. So you need to know that. But yeah. So I was back to where I was like, well, I didn't date the girl. I didn't keep dating the girl because it wasn't working out that way, and I wasn't going to commit because there's nothing for me to gain by committing. What am I going to get from that? Hey there, Katie. There was nothing to be gained, so I didn't. You know what I mean? The whole thing about relationships are about benefit for both people. You're friends with people because they keep you alive, they help you out, they keep you from being lonely. You know what I mean? They give you other perspectives to look at, they entertain you. So friends have a benefit and a purpose. I don't just date just to say I have a relationship. I don't need a boyfriend, a girlfriend, or a wife, or even friends just to say I have them. Like my friends are beneficial. They help me grow, they help me expand, they have resources, they have connections, they're great at networking, they're good at working on their own. You know what I mean? So if they can do it on their own, when we work together, we're going to get work done twice as fast, maybe 3 times as fast. So that's why also, like I said, that's part of the reason why I don't be like looking for relationships or trying to like commit, because outside of like what I've already be doing for myself, what might you do? You might help out a little bit more, but then I don't need it on a consistent basis. And I don't want you to feel like I'm just using and abusing you when I don't want you around all the time. And it's not that you're a bad person or like I don't love you or I don't care for you. It's just that I need space. Like as a kid, I was on punishment a whole lot. You know what I mean? Like my childhood was a little wild too, because I grew up in the projects. So I seen a whole lot of stuff growing up between 9 and 18. And then the rest of my life, I was just like in the projects, in the streets, doing like, just nefarious stuff. You know what I'm saying? So over the course of time, I guess we say over the course of time, I kind of learned to like, make sure that you make it yourself. Everybody keeps asking me. I'm a Capricorn. Capricorn. Capitos. All right. So over the course of time, I just learned to like be very independent, because people weren't always reliable in the way that I was reliable. You get what I'm saying? Like they didn't always show up for me the way I showed up for them. And what people would give me, so there's a saying that I always be telling people, don't give me what you want me to have, give me what I asked for. That's all I'm looking for. What I ask you for is what I want, because I know what I want and I know what I need at the time and the being. So a lot of times I wouldn't say anything, I wouldn't ask people about my needs, because when I tell them that, they're like, oh, I can't do that, but I can do this. No, motherfucker. I'm asking you to do this. So you need to do this or leave me alone. Don't give me shit. You know what I mean? Remember I told you that story about my mom when she would like make meals and stuff, and if I don't like it, or she would buy me stuff, and if it's not what I'm asking for, Mom, you keep it. Go get your money back. I don't give a shit if I don't have school clothes. I don't care if it's school shoes. I'll just go with the same shoes I had from last year before you're going to give me something I don't want. That's first and foremost. So that's something I've always been as a child. You can't give me anything I don't want. We're not negotiating on anything that I really want, that I desire. You can't give me half-ass. You can't be shortchanging me. None of that. I don't want it. You keep it. I'm not taking less than that. So that was a difficulty that I grew up with over the course of time. And in relationships, it's the same way. Like, I'm not taking less than what I'm asking for. And if I need to work harder to get that, then that's okay. If I need to be alone to get that, that's okay. I don't mind. You know what I mean? Because when I was a child, I was always on punishment. I was always in my room because my grades were kind of terrible. After the fourth grade, I stopped really caring about school. You know what I mean? Because I was poor. So I ain't had the latest shoes. I ain't had the newest clothes. I'm staying in the projects. I'm kind of shy. You know what I'm saying? So it was a little bit like too difficult to really like connect to people. So I grew up like really trying to like isolate myself. And like the people who were closest to me were the people I kept. Just kept, you know what I mean? So like friends are like family to me now. So like the friends that I grew up with when I was 9 are the same friends that are my friends now to this day. You know what I mean? We kind of separated a little bit, but we come back together. So it's not really like, that's how I learned about relationships. Relationships fall apart, but they come back together. You know what I'm saying? Like for instance, say we date for 5 years and then I never talk to you again, but then I see you again 10 years down the line. If we're in a group or in a crowd of, let's say, 10,000 people and you and I lock eyes, we automatically know, yo, you got my back, I got your back, because we know each other. We built some type of connection. Now, whether we like put more time and energy into it, then, you know, that's on us. But like, we know each other. We built the connection. So it's like relationships always, they never die. It just depends on how much energy or time that you put into them. You know what I'm saying? Do you keep investing in them for us to get more intimacy? Or did we just stop right here? And wherever we built that or whatever we stopped at, that's where the relationship was. So it's like a stunted growth in a way, you know what I mean? But at the same time, when you get back around them, you guys can pick up and carry on. So relationships will never die. They just aren't in the same form that they were in when you were actively in it. How does my family feel about me doing tarot? At first they would kind of like think, so my aunt, my oldest aunt, she's like 84 maybe or 88, one or two. My oldest aunt, on my mom's side, she was like, I was telling her about me doing YouTube and I was doing tarot, and she's like, tarot, ain't that for like the lonely housewives? She's like, what are you doing with that? Are you like struggling with emotions or like romantic feelings or some shit? And I was like, what? I was like, nah, auntie, I just like doing it. She's like, oh, okay. And this is back when I had maybe 3,000 subscribers at the time. You know what I'm saying? So it was somewhere around that range, or somewhere around that like stage in my life. So like most of my family, they don't really say too much. Like my cousins though, my cousins be into it. They be looking, yo, Payless used to be my spot. That's where I used to always go. I always had the Red Wings. I never had Nike. I mean, I had Nikes over time later on down the line, but I always had the Red Wings because it was Payless, so I could get 2 pairs, and then my mom would get me maybe like one other like name brand shoe. So that was lit coming up. You know what I'm saying? I used to appreciate that. I grew up in a single parent household. You know what I'm saying? So I had a little sister. So my mom would work 2 jobs. So I'm like stepdad to my daughter, to my sister. You know what I mean? I'm like a dad to my sister. So I had to grow up and be a little bit more mature than everybody else around me. You know what I mean? So that was something that also kind of caused me to like mature in some ways. And then there was in some ways where I didn't get to have like a childhood in the traditional sense of what children got to have. You know what I mean? So like for me, I come off emotional, what do you call it, immature at times, because there was like stages in my life that I didn't get to explore. I didn't get to like experience because I had to be responsible way before it was time for me to be responsible. You get what I'm saying? So like some days I'll be still feeling like a kid again or a teen again, going back to like certain phases in my life where it's like, damn, I didn't get to experience that. I didn't get to be that type of version of myself because I didn't have that. You know what I mean? So like all my teen years, I was in the house. I was on punishment. Like if I had like a bad report card, I'm in the house the whole marking period. And the only time I went outside is when my mom got tired of looking at me, or she's on the phone and she don't want me to hear what she's saying to her girlfriends. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? You said, what? You said, I've been a mom since the age of 9. What? You've been a mom? Oh, okay. Because you, oh, yeah, okay. I get what you're saying. Because you had siblings and shit. Same thing. I had siblings. You know what I mean? So, we grew up poor too, eating government cheese. Yeah, same way. Same. We would get stuff from Kraft because my sister's dad, when he came along, he used to work at Kraft Foods. So he would bring home like mac and cheese and like stuff that they would make there. He would bring boxes of it. So like we would have stuff like that. And then, you know, easy little meals I was learning how to make. My mom was not much of a cooker. She was a Gemini. She was not much of a cooker. She would cook though, but like I wouldn't eat it because like the stuff she would cook would be like stuff that like my grandma would make, and I'm like, I don't want that. Like, and it wasn't always the good stuff that my grandma used to make. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, it was like, it was cool, but I just wouldn't eat it. You know what I mean? So she wouldn't cook as much because we're not eating it. I just make my own food: tuna fish, hot dogs, apple butter bread. So I get like toast and then I put apple butter on it. That was my shit. Cheat, what they call it, grilled cheese. That was my move. Pancakes. Like I used to like to do stuff on my own. I didn't really want nobody to help me. Don't do anything. Only thing I want you to help me do is clean my room, Mom. That's it. If you can clean my room for me, that'd be great. But outside of that, I didn't want nobody to do nothing for me. And maybe buy stuff for me because at the time I couldn't get a job. But once I could get a job, you know what I mean. I had to spend my own money. I had to make my own way. You know what I mean. So, where I was going with that, I think I was just telling y'all. I was just maybe venting about some shit then there. I don't know. I got off a track. But yeah, I wasn't an only child. You grew up an only child? Are you still an only child, AJ? Because my daughter's an only child, and I know sometimes she'd be like, "When are you gonna give me a brother or sister?" I'm like, "That's work, baby girl. You trying to make me go to work again? Like it's not work taking care of you, feeding you, cleaning, cooking, and you be doing the bare minimum in here because you're used to us doing it for you? Why would I have two of you like that? You're still an only child? How you feel about that? You're a Gemini, you're not a big cooker. Exactly. And so was that Gemini girl I dated. She was not a big cooker either. Outside of the one Leo girl I dated, none of them were cookers. None of them would cook on a regular basis. So I always look at that too. If you're not cooking every day for yourself or like 3-4 times a week, I know for sure in a relationship, you're not about to flip the switch and be cooking on a regular. So whenever you do it, I know it's like, oh, okay, that's just a stunt for the moment. Be consistent in your life with it, because then I'll know that you're doing it. You know what I mean? It's like people that go to the gym with you, but they only go to the gym when you go to the gym, and then the rest of the time they're at home chilling until you say, you want to go to the gym? So you're not really motivated for yourself. You're motivated to show me that you're into it. You say, I'm not cooking for a boyfriend. But this is the thing. It's you. Are you a cooker in general? It doesn't even have to do with a boyfriend. You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, I'm a cooker for myself. Whether you eat it or whether you don't eat it, it was for me. So this is what I do for me. Like, it's natural to be myself. You know what I'm saying? So that's the whole thing about it. Like, not cooking for somebody is like something else. Like, that's like, I mean, in my opinion, that's just you being petty at the moment. Because it's like you're trying to make a stipulation. You love cooking, but you don't want to cook for somebody else. You're cooking for you. You're cooking for you. You're not cooking for their validation. If they happen to eat some, that was a blessing on their end. But who I am naturally is who I am. And I'm not about to switch it just because you're not doing your job. You get what I'm saying? That's where I be at with it. It's like, you know what I mean? I'm going to do my job. And if you don't do your job, we just don't be together. We just don't hang out. We're not going to be friends. We're not going to be business associates. We're not going to be romantic partners. You do your job. I do my job. That's it. So like, because I hear women say that sometimes too. It's like, well, I need a man to get me in my feminine energy. Are you a woman or are you not? You don't just flip the switch on some days and be a woman, then some days you be a masculine. That's not how it goes. That's not how it goes. You know what I'm saying? You say you didn't have to fight, man. Yeah, that's what I mean. That's not how it goes. You do your job consistently because that's who you naturally are. Otherwise, it's a facade and it's an image that you're trying to uphold to appease to other people. So that's something that I'll be looking at myself. Is like making sure that every day I'm doing it in the way that I would have done it for myself, whether you was here, whether the camera was on me, whether whoever was looking at me, you know what I mean? Whether the president or whoever was just like, this is what I do. This is my process. This is my program. And I'm true to me. Because that's a lot of struggle for a lot of people. Like we try to like appeal or try to be what we think other people would like us to be, just to kind of like keep connections or like to show people like, you're not going to take advantage of me. Simple boundaries and telling people what you expect of them and allowing them to make a decision whether they want to is very helpful and effective when it comes to relationships. Oh, you're a Cat Moon? What's your sun sign? Thank you too for the support, for being here, and for those likes and all that good stuff. For sure, 7. I grew up only child. You have 5.5 siblings. Oh, none ruled me or have much relationship. Yeah, I had 2 half siblings too on my dad's side. I'm still friends with I said friends. I still be talking to my sister on my dad's side. That's my baby. I don't really talk to my brother like that. I don't know if he don't like me like that or what. I don't know. We like anytime he ever reaches out to me, it's to ask me for stuff and to like complain about shit. And I don't know. He be talking to me like he doing me some type of favor. That's one thing I don't like about people in general. Don't never call me or talk to me like you doing me a favor, because you're not. You don't got to. I don't need it. I can get it done. It's just if you help me it can get there a lot quicker. And then I can do something for you too that would be beneficial to help you get somewhere a lot quicker. But if we're not working on the same team, then I'm not about to do shit for you. And I don't care what happens to you. You know what I mean? I'm not showing up for you if you don't show up for me. That's not how it go. You know what I mean? I deserve to get the same love and respect or the same help and assistance that I'm giving to you. You know what I mean? So I learned these things over the course of time about relationships because sometimes I was an overgiver. That's like, I noticed that in some of the reasons I was an overgiver. I'd give to you in a way that you wouldn't give to me and that you wouldn't show up to me. So that was another part of why I didn't want relationships, because people would get into relationships. What they'll do initially for me, I don't know if it's the same pattern that y'all may experience, but what they would do initially for me was they'll give me stuff in the beginning stage. They'll be consistent. They'll show up this way, and then they fall off. Once we get into the relationship, they fall off, and now I look up and I'm doing all the work. What the fuck happened? You sold me a dream. You were showing up this way, and then when stuff got good, you was like, I'm going to lay back because you can do everything. Because I can. I can do it all. I can pay all the bills. I can cook all the food. I can clean. I can do all shit. Like, I don't want to do all that shit, but I can. You know what I mean? So when I was getting into relationships, they would start off cooking on a regular, cleaning, sex, all that shit. And then next thing you know, they're lacking. They're resting. They're chilling now. And I'm doing all the work. And I noticed you're not giving like you were giving before. And you're still reaping the benefits of me doing my job. Exactly. False person. So, but this would happen a whole lot. This wasn't new. This was like happening a whole lot to a point where I realized like, oh shit. Oh, y'all got too comfortable with me because I can do this shit. You know what I'm saying? So men do that too. Men do that too. Yeah, men do it. Women do it. Kids do it. Business partners do it. All that shit. People show up at one way and then they slow down when they feel like they got you. You know what I mean? And that's why I kind of feel that way about people who be like trying to rush into relationships or rush into marriage. What you're really rushing into is to be lazy. You're rushing into not having to consistently keep putting the same effort out. People don't like the dating market because they don't want to have to be the best version of themselves. They don't really want to have to keep showing up consistently. That's the big issue. Nobody wants to show up consistently. We want to show up for as good as we can, for as long as we can, until we sell you on it, and then we're done. All right, cool. You know what I mean? It's like when you go to a car lot and they sell you a car that looks really good, but then when you drive it off the lot for 2 weeks, it breaks down. You're like, oh shit. Yeah, I just rigged it up good enough for the sale. Now that I got you on the contract, you're stuck with me. You get what I'm saying? So that's what a lot of people, that's why I was like, oh no, hell no. You need to be like this for yourself. That's part of the reason why I was telling you about cooking for boyfriends or cooking for girlfriends. You're doing this naturally because this is who you are. You know what I'm saying? So once you're doing it as like a power mechanism, as a power control or like a maneuver to like take advantage of a situation, then it's just showing who you are in the end when you get deeper into the relationship. You know what I mean? What'd you say? I missed something. What'd you say? It's not hard to be you, being afraid of your true self. And yeah, facts. Facts. See, Mizzo? Yeah. People, I don't know why people want to be lazy. They don't mean to be. It's just like if you find that you can get a free meal, because that's, you know what I mean? A lot of people will give a little bit and expect a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, and if you can get it, you're going to do it. Like if you can, like gambling, that's what gambling is. Gambling is like, I put my $20 in and maybe I win $1,000 or maybe I win $100. It's the same thing. People want a lot for a little. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to have to put in a whole lot of effort. I don't want to have to put in a whole lot of energy. And I don't like that. I take relationships serious. You know what I mean? I got a Capricorn Venus. I take relationships very seriously. So if we're getting into a relationship, this is a job now. You're obligated to do what you say you're going to do. Because that's why I dated you. That's why I said, yeah, you're my girlfriend. Or yeah, I want you to be here. So you're you know what I mean? You're meant to do what you're meant to do. And once you don't do that, now I don't want this anymore. Because you sold me a dream. It's a facade. It's an illusion. You were just doing this to get what you could get. I don't be with that shit. You know what I mean? Relationships are hard work. You know what I mean? They're hard work. And if you're not into working hard and being consistent or diligent, you don't need a long-term relationship. You need a short-term relationship. You get what I'm saying? Facts, Mia. Or did I just lose all my $20? And that it'd be like that sometimes too. But that's really the risk that some of us run sometimes. Like, you know, we expect that if we put our $20 in, maybe we'll win $100. And if we do win, we'll be like, whoa, it was worth it. It was worth it. You know what I'm saying? So relationships are a job when you're doing them the right way. It's like, yeah, man. Because like attending to somebody, you know, attending to somebody else, being present for somebody else was my longest relationship. It was a 5-year, but it was on and off. So it's like, well, yeah, on and off. Well, if that's the case, if I'm counting the on and off relationship, then it would be with my daughter's mom, because that was like a 7-8 year relationship, on and off. So we could have said that. You know what I'm saying? So maybe like 8 years was like the longest that I had like a relationship that I was intimately dealing with somebody, caring about their needs, taking, showing up, doing stuff like that. That was a long time for me. You know what I mean? So, but up until that point, my longest was like 2 years. I gave this situation was I do want to be married again. You was married before C-Mac? Yeah. How was that? Like everybody would be like, you want to be married again? Damn. 6 years. Okay. So y'all could do relationships. Y'all could be in them. Like I've been in them. I like them. They do be fun. I just don't like when you don't do your job. I don't like that at all. You know what I mean? I don't like that. There are days when we be on our, when we can't be our best or be our optimal. I understand that reasonably. But like if it be a pattern or a streak, don't think that my feelings are so deep that you ain't gonna be out of here or be gone. You know what I'm saying? Because that's usually what a lot of people work on. Like when you have a codependency or a need for a relationship or for somebody else to validate your feelings and emotions or make you feel secure, then you stay in connections where people aren't giving like you're giving. And then you feel resentful because it's hard. For me, what my struggles were in relationships were placing boundaries with people that I cared about most. You know what I mean? So family, close friends, romantic partners. It was a difficulty to tell them no. It was a difficulty to create. You said, do I spy on my partners with tarot? Not anymore, but I used to. That was my big thing. That was like a thing. Last year, the year before, for some reason, I was doing that. You know what I mean? Like, I was kind of curious because it was still like wanting to have like control over the relationship, but like over like time. I forgot what the shift was that happened for me. I had some type of shift where I just stopped caring in general. Like I just stopped caring. It just be like, let's just see what the adventure holds. Let's see what happens. I don't really care. And then I'll be doing the work anyway. So like without spying, I'm spying. You get what I'm saying? So like at one time I used to be geared towards just spying. You know what I'm saying? And then after that, I was like, yeah, I don't really care. Let's just kind of see how it all plays out. You know what I mean? Now, what I did do, there was a spy that I did on my gym, the women at my gym. I did this. I did spy on the women at my gym because I was kind of curious because they don't really say nothing to me and they don't avoid me. They be around me, but like they don't like look. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else talks to me. All the guys, like people that are owners at the gym, even the women that are owners at the gym will talk to me. But like most of the women that be around, they don't really say too much. But I be knowing that they're attracted to me, but they don't say anything. They just be like, but they'll be around me too. So like there's this little area at the gym that's like a little. It's like I forgot what they call it, but it's like a small room. They'll be in there where I'm at, but they just won't talk to me. They'll just show up in there, and you got to be like a member to get into that little area. So they'll be there, but they just won't say anything. What's the T on them? That they looking for somebody who's gonna provide and give to them, and I ain't looking for that shit. I already been through that pattern, so I don't even approach them because of that. That's why I don't approach them, Shaba Buddy, because I already know what they're looking for. I'm not fitting to take care of you. You're bugging. What are you about to do with your life? Just because you have money, or and some of them have money, but and then a lot of them, this the funny part, a lot of them are in relationships. So that's even more why I'm like, nah, I'm not messing like what you got going on. I'm not looking to like interfere with that. Now, if you shoot at me, I'm keep it real. That's on you. That's on you and me. I'm not going to trip on it. You know what I'm saying? So like, if you got a man and you cheating, that's on you. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going to approach you, but I'm going to do my job because my job is to check and see if you into it, and your job is to reciprocate or reject. If you don't reject me, that means you're reciprocating. That's your end. My end was just to see if you were interested before I knew. But I don't mess with them because I be knowing that they be having men or boyfriends that they're into. You know what I'm saying? If they have money, how do they expect me to take care of them? That's what I be trying to figure out, Shaba Body. They be making their own money. Why do you? So a lot of women are into like tradition where they feel like, hey, that's them. I don't know why it's that way with them. And it's that with some other ones too. So I don't know. But for the most part, I wasn't into taking care of them. Because I would have did that if I was in need of like a mom or you to cook and clean on a regular. Then I can understand me do, you know what I mean? Then I can understand me like taking on the bills or taking on paying whatever you need to do because you're doing all the other stuff around here that I need. But I'm not in that codependent energy of needing a mom or needing a maid or needing a sex goddess. I don't need that. I like it, but like if I don't have it, I sleep pretty damn well. You know what I'm saying? So like you can't use that as a tool to like control me or take advantage of me or any of that. You used to when I was younger. And like, some years ago, because that was still something that I thought I needed. That was like I was still codependent. I needed somebody to be there. I needed companionship. A girlfriend. I don't know why the fuck I keep saying boyfriend. I never in my life had a boyfriend. I'm in like tarot mode at the same time as I'm telling y'all that. That's why I'm like a boyfriend or a girlfriend. Like I'm trying to give y'all both sides of the spectrum for some reason. So anyway, where was I with it? So what was I saying about that? I forgot what I was saying about that. Yeah, at the end of the day, most women are looking for providers but can take care of themselves. Exactly. That's what pissed me off the most. It pisses me off the most. It's like you can take care of yourself. Why are you looking for me to take care of you? You just stop doing your job all of a sudden because you got a man? And it's funny because it's like we always come off like men and women. We always come off like that's your job, that's your position. You're supposed to be this way. Expectations. He's like, come on now, come on now. That ain't how it go. You know what I'm saying? You said that can worm is opening up. Hell yeah, better off alone than bad company. That's a fact. You've been independent for over 20 years. So Tracy Trace, I know you've been having little short-term flings in between that time. How'd that work for you? You used to live in Houston? Yeah, my sister used to stay in Spring, Texas. You said it's like a power move for a man to take charge. Yeah, and that's what I was trying to tell y'all. It is. Anytime somebody's taking care of you, it's like a father or like a mother. When you were living with your mom or your dad, didn't they make the rules when they were paying for your bills and they were buying all that shit? It's the same thing when you get a guy that has all the money and he's making all the moves for you. He has expectations on how you need to show up. And that's like a leverage or a control mechanism in a relationship. A lot of women don't see that because they'd rather just give up their, their independence and allow somebody else to lead. You know what I mean? I'm a natural leader. I don't want you to lead me. And it may be just because I'm a male, you know what I'm saying? But like even my cousins, they're natural leaders and they would date men and they would allow them to be masculine or whatever, but they make more money than them. A lot of my cousins were making six figures working for like legit banks and all that stuff. So it's like they didn't really need a husband, you know what I'm saying? But they would have them or they would have boyfriends and all that stuff. One of my cousins was married for like 30 years, 20 years, something like that. Then she divorced because she was trying to live up to social code or social standards that a man needed to be more of a provider. And she's making six figures back in the 90s. You know how much six figures was back in the 90s? You're damn near a millionaire. You know what I'm saying? So she wanted him to live up to a certain expectations. And it was like other like family stuff that was being pushed on her. And that's what a lot of us are like struggling with, dealing with, feeling like we need to like live up to what society expects of us when it comes to relationships instead of doing what works for us, what works best for you, what makes you feel good. You know what I'm saying? Does this person work for you? Do they make you feel good? Do they think about your needs? Then why does it matter how much they make, what they have? So a lot of it was like based around like what other people expected of us, relationships in general. So like I don't be liking that when people are trying to like fit in or worried about what their friends are thinking or worried about like what it looks like to other people, because I don't think about that when I want something. When I want something, I don't care what you thought about me wanting it. I want it and I'm going to make it happen. Don't matter how long it takes. This is what I desire. So it's going to happen one way or another, even if we have to die for it. You know what I mean? That's how I look at it. And so like a lot of people don't have that same level of devotion about the things that they're passionate about. They just kind of want it. They just kind of interested in it. And I'm not like that. I'm into it all the way, or I don't want it at all. There's no half-ass with it. You feel me? So I'll be looking for people that are just like that. It needs to be all the way, or you know what I mean. And sometimes that can be like, they can come off as like what do they call it? It's all or nothing. And sometimes I try not to be that way in relationships where it's like it's all or nothing. You know what I mean? Because everybody can't have your same drive or desire or passion for certain things. You know what I'm saying? So I try to be realistic in that way. Oh, we are like an hour and 3 minutes. Pentarina. Yeah, I mean, if you guys do timestamps, that'd be cool. I don't even know where I was like, because I know this story, so I probably wouldn't have looked this over again. I probably wouldn't watch this again. I just was just like trying to connect with y'all today because I said I would, and sometimes I'd be wanting to get. All right, well, good night, Pentarina. I'd be wanting to just like do little rants and just talk about random shit without feeling like I need to have the cards flicking around to connect with y'all. You know what I mean? So yeah. Any other questions y'all be wanting to know? Nighty night. Man, that sounds like a grandma. My mom used to say that. What's a good look for me? Yeah, I don't care about nobody making more money than me. I don't care about that shit. Use that shit. Use that shit. Use that money that you got. Oh, being vulnerable. Yeah, I learned how to do this over the course of time. YouTube was part of it. Doing social media was part of it. That was very helpful because you gotta have tough skin to do social media or be online or to get in front of the camera. That's why I did it this way when I first started doing tarot. I made sure to get in front of the camera because it was spooky. It was scary, you know what I'm saying, to like be in front of people and to like see you and to like still feel self-conscious, you know what I mean? Because you don't know who's watching or who's looking at you. You don't know how they're judging you, how they're viewing you. So it helped me not care about that stuff over the course of time. So that's why I was like, I'm glad that I even took the YouTube journey or did social media in general, because it also gave me a sense of self and of like not worrying about how other people like look at me. How much do you go to tarot for decisions? Not that much. Not that much, for real, for real. Like now it's kind of like intuitive. I know what to do now. So it's not even really, I mean, like I don't always know what to do. So sometimes I just check and see, like just for fun. I take it with a grain of salt. Like, stuff can change. You know what I'm saying? So like I don't really like delve into it as much as I do. Like I do it sometimes just to kind of see how a reading will play out. But like I'm not like doing it so much where it's like what I will do is like I'll see like how's my day gonna go for the day. I will do that, but it's not like an advice. I don't really care about the advice. I just want to know like how would a day turn out? What would it look like if I started doing this? That's what I do. So that might be advice if we consider that advice. That could be considered advice that I would do. You know what I'm saying? Do I still watch other readers? Yeah, I still like other readers. You know what I mean? I like other readers. I'll be watching them like again for entertainment, and then I like that some of them be knowing what they're talking about. You know what I mean? And then some of them are just attractive. So that's that. You know what I mean? Like I do watch some of them just because they're pretty women. That's it. Who are my favorite readers? For real, for real. Favorite readers. I like who I got. I like Tay. Tarot with Tay. I love Tay. I like how Tay be. Like how like Tay seemed like a no bullshit type of person. So I like Tarot with Tay. I do like Tyler. I also like the lady. I want to say it's Hidden College. It's the older lady with glasses. She sometimes do stuff with Tyler too. I like her too. Her country accent. I like her. My favorites though, I guess. Who else I'll be liking? I don't know. Like now, I just be kind of like watching. Yeah, Enchanted College. Yeah. Enchanted College. Yeah. I knew her name was Auntie Karen. That's what I knew. I just couldn't think of like what her channel name was. Yeah, I like her. Which card of a traditional tarot deck is your favorite? My favorite. What was it? It's the Queen of Wands. Yeah, Lynn's dope too. I seen Lynn when he first came out, but I don't be watching collectives. So that's the only reason I don't be watching it like that. I don't like collectives. That's not like a big thing for me. You know what I'm saying? Oh, damn, are they? That's because you think too much about it, Katie Capricorn. You just got to do it. Don't think about what other people are thinking. Just think about what you want to do and just do it. You know what I mean? So, how did I learn tarot? So I learned tarot. All right. So, that's one of my favorite ones too. I forgot her because the one girl, she's not there anymore. She's done. She just did her last tarot reading maybe like 3 months ago. It was the lady I was telling you about before. Her name used to be Scent Star 555. She taught the other lady that I like too, and her name was Queen of Pentacles Tarot 333. All right. So yeah, Lynn's pick of cards is fire, but he don't do pick of cards anymore. He just be doing collectives from what I've been seeing. So I don't know who Sacred Libra is. I never heard of them. But anyway, so yeah, so that's the lady, Queen of Pentacles Tarot 333. She does collectives now, but like the difference between her collectives and everybody else's collectives is that I know her. I mean, I don't know her like in a physical way. Like I watched her from like all the way through. So it was like I was like all the way like, I don't know. Like she was one of the people that I kind of learned from in a way, because like she doesn't read cards the way I read it, but like she used to do this thing where she would like read all the cards So she would read the whole deck at one reading, and I was like, oh shit, that was like big shit to me because you never see nobody like do the whole deck. She did the whole deck, card for card, and just read the whole reading out. I always thought that was crazy. She would do that for the zodiac signs too, and I was like, how the fuck is she doing this? She was one of the people that really inspired me. Oh yeah, I know Moon Moth too. She was pretty good. I'm not one of my favorites, but she's pretty good. You know, like she's good too. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of good readers, like a lot of great readers. Let me not even say good. A lot of great readers. It's just that like I used to rap. So like when I was rapping, I didn't really give a fuck about other rappers. It's not that I don't like them. I just don't care because I can rap. You get what I'm saying? It's like I can rap. You know what I'm saying? Like every once in a while, I do want like hear some Drizzy Drake or some shit. But like when I was rapping, I was like, man, I want to hear me rap because I like what I be doing. You know what I'm saying? Like when I'm into something, I'm into me and I'm into the moment. But I do like other people. So like when I'm bored and I don't feel like doing the reading, let's say somebody came out with a hot ass topic that I like was kind of interested about, then I'm gonna watch that reading. You know what I mean? Regardless of who it is. It may be somebody I know, maybe somebody I don't know. Oh yeah, I like her too. Blue Rose. Yeah, Blue Rose. I love. She's so pretty, and I like the way she talks. I like how she sounds like she's so hood. I like that, even if she's not hood. I just like how she like portrays herself. I like how she talks. I like how she be like, blunt with people. I like that. I think she got to be a Sag or some shit. Oh, she has like Sag placements. I like how she talks. Yeah, Blue Rose is one of the people. Who else? Who else did I follow? I don't know. I gotta look. Where's my phone at? I gotta look and see who I be liking. Cause like I just be seeing them when they come down. I'm about to give you all a list of the people I like that in my subscription. Let me tell y'all right now. Hold on. Oh, Popular Loner. I forgot about her. Popular Loner, Astro Queen, but she's now Essex of Tarot or No More Tarot. I watch both her channels. Her, Astro Queen. I be looking at Miss Hawaii too. I like how she be getting down. Oh, Alice. Y'all know Alice? Alice, Love Exists. I still like her pick-a cards, dog. I still like her pick-a cards. She won't ever do pick-a cards. Do I do collabs? I do collabs. I reached out to a lot of different readers. Like, yo, y'all want to do collabs? They was like, hell no. They didn't say hell no. They just didn't. They didn't reply back. They just didn't reply back. You know what I'm saying? I used to like this girl. I don't know if she posts anymore. There was this girl, Shanice or Shaniqua or Shanique. She was Jamaican. Or she was from the islands. Yeah, and that was all I got. Let me see. And I like Star Table Talk. I haven't watched Star in a minute though. But Star Table Talk was one of my favorites. So like most of the people who are like my favorites were just people who I watched when I first when I first started tarot or when I first started watching tarot. You know what I'm saying? You said what? Yeah, I like her. Alice says she exhausted over every topic for a pick a card. Yeah, I believe it too. I believe it. Mia's Tarot? I seen Mia's Tarot. I gotta check her out and see what's going on with her. Somebody else mentioned her to me too. I seen her face come down my timeline. She reminds me of this girl, of this lady that was my mom's best friend, who was psychic too. So like, it would kind of like make sense that she would probably be doing psychic work because they look just the same. You know what I mean? And this lady didn't have cards though. She would just like, she would drink and then she would like see visions and then she would tell you stuff. Like she would let me know if I was going to have sex with girls before. This is like when I was like 20, 18, 19, 20. She would tell me, you know what I'm saying? And she would let me know. She would let me know that Gullah Geechee, I remember her. She used to follow me at one time, I believe. Or we used to, like, maybe she used to be in the comments about when I first started doing pick-a cards. I think it was her. Or maybe it was Geechee Seer. I don't know which one it was. Maybe it was her. Maybe it was somebody else. I don't know. Moonlight Tarot? I don't know them really. Casey at Moonlight Tarot? I don't know them. I haven't seen them. But yeah, those are like some of the people that I was in. Like most of the, and the girl, one day y'all told me to watch Lexi Shadows. She was Messages with Lexi. She still has that. So I remember seeing her. She was one of the people I used to watch when I was coming up and like doing tarot. I learned how to do tarot though over the course of time of just practicing. And then what I started doing was every day, because I still do this to this day. So every day what I would do is I'd do a reading. What I would do is just like I told you, I'd ask, how will my day go out? How will my day play out? and I would have a reading that I would maybe leave on my bed, or I would leave on the counter, or I would leave on the table, or I leave on the couch, cards that I just like dealt for the day. And then I would come back and I would see how did it like translate throughout my day, and what way did this reading resonate for what I got going on. And that's all I would do, is I would just place the cards towards a real life situation. You basically live the card. You live the tarot. That's how you get good at it. You got to live the tarot. You don't just like read it. You know what I'm saying? Do you think Passionate Heart Tarot is pretty? I don't even know who that is. I never even heard of Passionate Heart Tarot. Like, it's so many different readers. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know her. I never even seen her. Maybe I have seen her come down the timeline. I don't know. Did she be in front of the camera, or did she do like just the hand stuff? Because like when I first came along, a lot more women were doing like the hand stuff, and then I started seeing them get out front. You can prove you by YouTube and Instagram since 2021. Oh, she fell off? Damn, I didn't see her. Yeah, I do personal readings, 7 Hearts. You just gotta email me. I'm gonna post my price list again, because it had been updated and I didn't share the recent update for my price list. But yeah, like tarot is like an amazing sport, amazing career field in general, like all the way around, because everybody's going to see something different and everybody's going to understand it differently too. You know what I mean? How'd I come up with my name? I was looking through my birth chart, and I was looking at a natural talent or a natural skill or ability that I have, and it's always your Leo placement. So wherever you have a Leo placement, it's your natural talent, and my natural talent is communication. So I was like, oh, okay. It was like communication, film, sportscaster, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, all right. And I looked it up, and it had Leo in the 3rd house, and I was like, that's kind of catchy. I'll just make it Leo in the 3rd house. You know what I'm saying? So you have a natural talent for talking. Aqua Cat. People respect your voice. They respect your input. And that was something I noticed. So this is a story. Okay, this was a story. This is what it was. So I knew it to be true that it was really a spiritual gift or a talent that I had, a natural talent or ability I had, because of this event one day at Firefly. We had this music festival. We don't have it no more. They may bring it back. But there was a music festival at in Delaware that we had called the Firefly. We had it for like 10 years. So one year I went. I mean, I went a couple years, but this one year particularly, I went, and they had to shut it down because it started raining and it started thundering. And because we're in the middle of a field, it poses a threat. So they sent us all home. On the way home, now keep in mind, it's coming down, it's pouring rain, and we're in the middle of a field with all this mud and all this shit. And it's like kids that are like 19 to 50, and they're not kids at 50, but like, there's people from 19 to 50. All right, oh, you could be an entertainer. You guys could be an entertainer. You could be a trainer, entertainer, because that 10th house or that 6th house. You said, can I apologize to Harley already? I didn't do anything to Harley. What are you talking about? What'd I do? Whoa. What'd I do? Whoa. What'd you hear? What'd I do? I didn't do anything. Dang, that kind of reminded me of that, like a friend I had. I have other gifts. Yeah, sales. I'm a great cheerleader, great inspirational speaker. I could hype you up to get you to do some shit that you wanted to do. Where was I going with that? There was something I was about to tell y'all. Damn. Oh yeah, at the Firefly. Bam. So I was at the Firefly. So on the way out, it's like a crowd of people. It's like it had to be at least 200, 300 people all in this circle. We're all trying to get out. So as we're trying to get out, everybody's starting to push, and I can feel the tension. I'm like, oh man, they're about to hurt somebody. So I just like get loud. I'm like, hey, everybody, this is what we're gonna do, because they didn't know what to do. So I just took lead of a situation, and my voice was loud enough to be projected over like a crowd of like 300, 400, or 200, 300 people in front of me. I'm like, this is what we're gonna do. Everybody just grab the person ahead of you, grab their shirt, and follow them out. And then we made 2 lines. And eventually it stopped the situation that we were having. Like, it was going to be messy had I not stepped up and said anything. But I took lead of a situation where everybody else was too afraid to like handle the situation. And after that, I realized like, oh shit, people value my opinion. Even people who don't know me, they respect my voice or my input, my authority. So I recognized that, but I still didn't know what to do with it. This happened back in like 2018. So I didn't really know what to do with it. You know what I'm saying? So, well, after that, once I seen that, I was like, oh, I do have a skill set. I do have that. See how you lost trolls? Yeah, I always lose trolls. I don't be wearing. They all know you. They do. Okay, how did you learn the personalities with the cards? You described them perfectly. Facts. Oh, Seven Hearts. I do not have a girlfriend. I have a friend that's a girl. Baba Jolie. I don't know that. That sounds like a good name though. What was I saying? Where was I going with that? I was going somewhere else with that too. Oh, how I learned the personalities with the cards. Um, so each of the cards are like think of them as like a placement. So the fives are fixed energy: Leo, Aquarius, Taurus, Scorpio. All right. 5 through 7 are fixed energies because it's Aquarius, Leo, Scorpio, Taurus. All right. So those personalities would take on, or those traits of those cards would take on Taurus attributes. Same thing when it comes to the major arcana. They are representing astrological points. So, like the chariot would be a Cancer, the hermit would be a Virgo. So these are the attributes of these signs. You know what I mean? If you look at them, in general as people, like if you have Virgo friends, Cancer friends, Taurus friends, you'll see how they live out those archetypes, what they value, what they treasure. And then they have other placements within them that also extend outside of that. But for the most part, I was able to understand the personalities because I understand astrology. Tarot and astrology are very similar. And the way that I know I be doing them right is that like when I be doing like, let's say next 90 days, or when I be doing what's coming this month, I can always go back and look at either CoStar or look at the pattern, and they'll explain the same transits that are going on that I just explained through tarot. So after that, I was like, oh yeah, these are all like the same thing. These are all like the same. Like tarot and astrology is so closely connected. That's all I ever did was just study my astrology and then go along with the tarot. Recognize like, okay, this is what's going on. Once I start recognizing the patterns, because it's a pattern. Over the course of time, it's a pattern. Everybody has something that they're going for, that they're desiring. Are you into astrology? Were you into astrology? Yeah, I was always into astrology before that. You know what I mean? So like I had been studying astrology since like 2015, 14. Thank you, Miss B. Why don't I have a girlfriend? I told that story already. You might want to go back and look why I don't have a girlfriend. Because I don't need one. Like I don't need to like be committed to one at this moment. It's not like it's not like a major thing for me to have a girlfriend. I do enjoy having women around, but it's like not a major thing to say you're mine and I'm yours. That's not like a big thing. The D. Sometimes it be like that. Like sometimes the newer readings, the past readings resonate more than the old readings. You know what I mean? Than the new readings. It just be like that. I don't know. I have no idea why it be like that. And sometimes you may be in that timeline at the moment. Doesn't mean like you're behind or anything. It just may be that timeline that you needed to get this information. So it could just be that. You know what I mean? But I love women. I love having women around. I just don't need to say that you're mine and I'm yours. I don't need that for me to feel like loved or feel cared for. Traditionally, that's what we were like used to with relationships. And so I'm trying to really break a certain societal view of like what's considered to be a relationship. Because even right now, you and I have relationships. Now, depending on how much work we put into it, depends on how much we're going to get out of this. Yeah, I had some abandonment issues as well, but like I'm not worried about people leaving me anymore. You know what I'm saying? I'm not worried about that anymore. I just don't need it. That's the big thing. And I'm not really interested in having to take on your responsibilities or your burdens on a regular. That's the big thing. I'm not interested in that. I'm not looking to be your father. I'm not looking to be your provider. I'm not looking to be a trophy. I don't need you to be a trophy. You know what I'm saying? Like I keep my relationships to myself too. I don't even tell people that I'm dating people because I'm not needing you to validate who I'm dating. I don't need you to say, "Oh wow, she's so beautiful," or "Oh wow, that's a good look." I don't care if you think it's a good look. It's what I want to do. So you sure? Am I sure I'm not afraid of getting hurt? What hurt? How? What would hurt me at this point? What would hurt me? What would happen if you just take away your sex or you take away your company? What happens? What happens? What happens after that? Like even with friends, like you know what I mean? Even when friends disappear, what happens after that? I get new friends. I'm not afraid of being hurt. I'm not afraid of being left. I'm afraid of you not doing your job on a consistent basis and I'm doing mine. and I committed to you. And so traditionally, what we consider to be commitment is ownership. That's what we consider to be in a relationship, ownership. Whether we admit that openly or not, that's what we imply when we say, this is my boyfriend or this is my girlfriend. I imply that because I'm taking care of you, because I'm giving to you, I own you. And you have certain, specifics that you need to be into. You know what I'm saying? To be in love, you have to be kind of like delusional at times. And I just don't fall into that anymore. I don't be delusional anymore because I understand why we're getting into relationships. So it's not because, what I mean, it's a lot of times, sometimes because we need it, but a lot of times it's built out of like codependency. I need you to be here for me so that way I can feel secure. I like, I mean? I like partnerships and shit, you know what I'm saying? I do love that. I love doing stuff with people, but like we can build a connection that can last the test of time without being fully committed to each other either. Because in the end of our lives, what we're really going to care about is the bonds that we built with people over the course of time. Real friends, real romantic partners. And it's not guaranteed that just because you're in a relationship or married, I know women still believe in fairy tales. And that's probably part of why like I'm not like as super successful as I would have been maybe in tarot in the way that I imagine it to be. Because it is successful. It is a success. But like it's not as large as I imagine it to be because it's not a fairy tale that I'm into. I'm not trying to sell you a dream. I'm just trying to keep it real with you. I'm 38. You know what I mean? So I just try to keep it as real with you as possible. Nothing wrong with romance at all. It's fun. But the Ten of Cups is a temporary happiness. If you notice in the major arcanas, there is no long-term relationship there outside of the lovers. But the lovers is about open vulnerability, trust. You know what I mean? Security. But it had nothing to do with monogamy. It had nothing to do with monogamy. It had to do with being able to mirror back somebody the same trust, the same equality, the same fairness in a relationship. It's also a courting card. So there's no cards in there that represent long-term marriage in the major arcana. It's only in the minor arcana because that's how it starts. Like your wedding, that wedding day is a one-day affair. It's not like the whole picture and it's not the relationship. It's not the extent of the relationship. The Four of Wands is based in passion. We do create stability, but it's in the desire that we both want to be together and we want to be in each other's space. And it's more of a celebratory energy. Same with the Ten of Cups. It's the picture of what happiness looks like. And it's not always what happiness is every day. Because it's not the dream that you imagine of somebody being on their deathbed and you having to clean their shit or wipe their ass for 30 years. You don't imagine that when you get into a long relationship. That's not the fantasy that you were fantasizing about. What you were fantasizing is the matching turtlenecks and the matching PJs, you know what I mean? And the kids in the house and going on family trips. That's the dream and the illusion of the Ten of Cups. But it's not the real pretty parts that are really happening in a real long-term relationship. You know what I mean? A lot of people, they leave you when you're not on your best, when you're down. And that's what a lot of men try to keep away from too. Because you don't want to invest, take care of a woman, give her all your all. And then when you get sick or when you're not as strong or you're not as in shape and she leave you, that's a scary thing. You know what I mean? When you're not your best or living how she expects you to, then she leaves you. You know what I mean? So to eliminate that, to avoid that, I just do it on my own. And you can come and go as you please. And same here. You come and go as you please. There's no obligations to be here. But we do work together and we do build towards a goal, what we agree on. So let's say we were dating, or we were like halfway dating. What do we agree on? What are our terms? This is what we do. And we stick to that. You know what I mean? Yeah, we could say what women should be like, but women are being the best versions of themselves that they could be at this point. As they learn over the course of time, they'll get better. And men too. You know what I mean? Like men weren't always emotional the way they are now. So it was something that y'all were asking for at one time, that women were asking for at one time, but now here they are. Here they are being a little bit more emotional than what we needed them to be. But that's what happens. Sometimes you go from being on one side of the spectrum to the other side until you come into the middle where you can balance it all out and it makes sense to you. You're like, I get it. I know what to do now. You know what I mean? So hell yeah. So yeah, that was like my little rant, y'all. This is a little longer than what I was expecting. I was expecting just to be here for like an hour. Everyone should do exactly. That's how I feel too, Shabbat buddy. That everybody should design their own relationship. How I live my relationship with status or life is different than how everybody else is. Like a lot of us as a society and as like humans, we want to kind of like base it into like a generic cookie cutter way that relationships are. That's why it kind of frustrates me when people are like, well, this is how They're doing this and they're doing that, and this is how they need to be, and this is a man's job, this is a woman's job. Some people didn't experience that life in the way that we expected them to experience it. Like everybody came from a different walk of life, and their life experiences led them to where they are. So there are women who make more money than me. Oprah makes more money than me. If I were to date Oprah, should I turn to the provider because that's the natural role of being a man? You know what I mean? It's those things. She probably dates men like Joanna Newman. Who? I'm confused. Yeah, check their values. Yeah, that's true. And that's where I learned to slow down relationships too. Talking, getting to know everybody, getting to know what they like. So it'll definitely burn you out. You falling in and out of love every other week. That's a fact, Seven Hearts. Falling in and out of love will definitely burn you out. I do be in infatuation every other week though. I'm like, oh shit, I like this girl today. I like this girl today. But then it just be like, it's just like, you know what I mean? Until I get to know people on a deeper level, I don't think too much of it or think too much into the connections or think too much into relationships until I get to know people on a deeper level. You know what I mean? So I like to talk a lot. I like to communicate. I like to see people too. So like my thing is like FaceTime a lot. I like to FaceTime people. Yeah, a week, shower buddy. I got Libra placements. Libra be falling in and out of love all the time. You know what I mean? Like I might like you today, then next week, I'm kind of bored. I'm over this. So that's why it's also that. Like even without having sex or even without going on dates, we get to talking to each other after a while, and I'm like, all right, well, it's not going the way I would like it to go. We're not really like connecting how I would like it to connect, or maybe just something else comes along. You know what I mean? Sometimes it could be anything. Like it's not always like personal. Sometimes it just be anything. You know what I mean? Because it's like I'd be working on like somebody asked, "Are you working on detachment?" Yeah, I work on detaching a lot. Where it's like I don't need for stuff, so that when I do get it, it's more of a blessing and a luxury. And what do you do with luxuries? You take care of them. So like if it's something that I need, then sometimes you tend to like not really value it as much as you should. You know what I mean? So I work on not needing it, and when it comes, just being appreciative of it. Like, hey, it didn't have to be here. You know what I mean? Like when y'all tip me sometimes, I'm like, hey, thank you so much. Because you didn't have to give it. And I wasn't expecting it either. Because like if I was depending on it, then I would be frustrated that I'm not getting it. But I don't need it. I don't need the validation of it. I don't need the acceptance of it or the reassurance of it. So it's one of those. And I do, yeah, I got Scorpio Mars. I need intensity and love. So if I'm not super passionate about something, I'm not really going to even put a lot of time or energy into it. I'm not going to invest into it. I'm not even focused on it. Like I need to obsess about the things that I want. So if it doesn't like, if there's not like a spark of passion in the beginning stages, you keep it. I'm good. I'm not really into it. You know what I mean? I need to be passionate about the things that I really follow or that I really engage in. So yeah, what time is it? Anyway, y'all, I got to get ready to do this personal reading for this girl. So I told her I have it done in a little bit. So like I said, I'm not wasting my time and energy over something that's not exceptional. Yeah, but sometimes it takes a little time to build up to that exceptional. My Gemini Venus is that way. Oh, your Gemini Venus is like that, gets bored. Yeah, a lot of the women I dated also had Gemini Venuses too, and I don't like that. I didn't like that way of love. I didn't like the way they would love because they were like always like it would be like a fantasy or a picture of what they would try to do, like information and stuff. And they like a lot of like they need randomness. They need different like experiences and like they can't really do routine. I like a lot of routine. I like consistency at the same time, and we can switch it up, but like it can't be an everyday switch it up. We need to have some type of like structure. You know what I mean? So Gemini Venus is cool though for like short term. I like those people in that way. You like consistency? Maybe you got like a Earth Mars or like a Water Mars. Sag Venus, and I'm still. So you just need a relationship that you can grow on. You may also need your independence with a Venus and Sag. They usually do well with independence or relationships that are long distance. It's like the heart makes, what do you call it? The distance make the heart grow fonder. You know, 10 years. 10 years of what, Shabba? Scorpio Venus, okay, okay. That's a deep lover. Hey there, Adri. She said that's funny because what? That's funny because I like IDR. What's IDR? Oh, independence. Stelliums are whenever you have three planets in the same house. or in the same sign. Sometimes it's not always in the same house. Sometimes it's just in the same sign. Oh, you like long distance relationships? Yeah, they be cool. I don't mind them. I like them too. They be all right because like you don't need to be here every day. But when you do show up, I'm happy you showed up. Hey, let's turn up on them, boo. You know what I mean? So yeah. But anyway, y'all, I gotta get going. Tomorrow though, in the morning, I'll be back with the zodiacs. And make it happen like that. You know what I mean? So it'll be like around 9 o'clock. I'll be back again to do the signs and the visuals. It'll be so what I learned is I gotta do 2 at a time. Because if I do 3, YouTube won't send you all the alerts that you're supposed to get. Because you're only supposed to get 3 alerts a day from each channel or from a channel. So once I do 3 signs, then they don't send you the alert letting you know that I went live for all signs. You just have to happen to be scrolling and then you'll see me. So I learned that. So now what I'll start doing is doing 2 signs and then do a live at night. You too, y'all. Thank y'all. This was fun. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for the support, y'all. I love chatting with y'all. Y'all have a good night. I'll see y'all probably tomorrow, most likely with the live or with the zodiac signs if you happen to show up in the morning. So y'all take it easy. Enjoy yourselves. I'm gone. Thank you.